Alright, hello, welcome back. My name is Morty, this is Mildly Gumpler, and today we are looking at the Sengoku Astray Gundam. So yes, it is partly a Seed Gundam, but it is Build Fighters. So this is the Nils Nielsen mobile suit, which is super cool from the TV show. He just dominates everybody. I really enjoyed this suit, so when I saw it, I had to get it, obviously. And I'm also kind of hoping that there's the old Astray V-fin in here somewhere, because my Astray V-fin went missing a while ago. I don't know where it's gone. Probably into the bowels of a vacuum cleaner. So here we've got 5 runners. Yeah, this box is a mess. they're not normally this bad, I promise, but looks like we've got some red polycaps instead of your normal grey polycaps, so that's pretty cool, despite them being polycaps. The polycap part, not so cool, but the fact that they're coloured is pretty cool. We've got some more parts here, so lots of red, white, and black on this kit, so it's going to look kind of badass. Digging on through, we've got the booklet itself. Obviously the booklet is your pretty standard master grade kind of booklet, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. Where is it? There you go. You got some of the stuff going on in here, different things that I cannot read because I can't read Japanese. But yeah, it's looks like there's going to be quite a few leftover parts, like on the polycap thing. This entire PS one down here in the middle of the frame at the moment. That entire thing, there's 1 and 2 are the only ones that needed off of it. So it looks like there's going to be a few leftover parts. There's another one up the top here that looks like it's pretty much entirely crossed out, as well as the one right next to it. So there's going to be quite a bit of leftover stuff in this kit from the looks of things. And digging in here, we just got one little sticker sheet as well. So pretty straightforward kit for the most part. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy to build. I'm looking forward to the end result because I really enjoy the aesthetic of the Astray, and its base is a seed kit. So yeah, I'm slightly biased, but let's jump into the build. I will see you guys on the other side for my thoughts on it. Alright, and there you have it, the Sengoku Astray Gundam from Build Fighters. Now this kit honestly took me a lot longer than I expected. It was a little bit more complex, and apparently my back is in a really bad shape at the moment because that really hurt, but about 5 hours worth of building, he's all finished. There are a few parts that I'm probably going to want to glue up a little bit. There is the parts on the skirt, or the side skirts here. They are kind of loose. And then there's this tiny, tiny little like lock-in piece somewhere in the leg. I'm not sure which leg. I know it's from one of them because there's 4 in total from the H runner. And don't know which one it's come out of, but it's popped out of one of them. But I think everything else is kind of locked in by the armor as I put it in place, and I just missed this part falling out of wherever it was. So that's slightly annoying. But anyway, I'll either find it or completely forget about it, and it won't matter. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, as expected at the start, there is quite a bit left over. The majority of both of the polycap runners is left over. There's a couple of pieces for the original Astray feet. There's some head and shoulder pieces from the original Astray. There's a huge amount of stuff left over from the weapons, and a few other bits and pieces which you'll see scattered around there. But at the end result, man, is this a cool looking kit. I don't think the camera really does it justice. Like, really, I don't think it does it justice. It just, you can't really make out just how cool this kit looks on camera. You kind of need to see it in person. If you don't already have one, I would strongly recommend getting it into your collection. Even if you're not a big fan of the Astray frame, I know people aren't, for some reason, fans of anything from Gundam Seed, but the Astray frame is super cool. It's a little bit more complex to put together, I will admit, but it is a super fun kit, and it just looks awesome, and it has a lot of potential for some really cool action poses, stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to put it into any action poses. The articulation is a bit janky up around these shoulders, and these things are weird, but you can get some really cool stuff out of it. You do have just your standard kind of clip-on action-based adapter, so I wouldn't recommend too much hardcore stuff unless you're planning on either gluing it to one or building a custom one. So you've got a few different things going on with this kit. Now, looking at the instructions as well, this part here is an adapter, so you can actually attach the big Oni shield on the back here, which is cool. So you can actually attach this big Oni shield to the back of the build strike. Now, I don't have the build strike with me. I did take it up to Brisbane and leave it there because it's an awesome kit, but for some reason I thought, no, I don't want it with me. But it does look like it can be adapted onto the build strike, and potentially a couple of other types of kits as well, like the Ale Strike, or maybe even the Duel or something along those lines. I might play with that a bit later and pop that up on the Instagram if I do. But anyway, what nobody's here for, the rating of this kit. I would personally say it's probably around about a high tier master grade. It is definitely a really cool kit, but the fiddliness of some of it does lose a bit. It doesn't really gain much from any gimmicks that it's got. And unfortunately, polycaps. I'm probably never going to give a kit with polycaps a master tier rating, so it does lose a bit in that. Now, it is an older kit, 2014, if I remember correctly. Is it on the booklet? It is 2014, so 6 years ago, and it is using a lot of technology from these days. So a lot of the red parts are all undergated, which is really cool, but that's probably why it took me an extra hour and a bit over a normal build, because so much of it required double snipping where I don't normally do it. But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this kit. I quite enjoyed the build. I'd strongly recommend getting it if you do want to have this in your collection, or if you've watched Build Fighters and thought the Gundam was super cool and you just can't find it. I do strongly recommend putting it near the top of your list for a wish list kind of thing, because it's super fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I only have, I think, 7 kits left for the year. I think it is 6 or 7 kits left for the year. I've got a few more that are on their way, but I still need to figure out what I'm going to do for my last kit. I think I still need to get 2 more. So one of those 2 is going to be lucky number 52 for the year. So if you've got any ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to have an idea of what I should build. I am leaning towards a perfect grade, probably a unicorn or the Exia if I can get my hands on one. Cost is probably the biggest prohibitive factor in that point. But anyway, I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching.